Coach, you lost Mosi from your room. I mean, how confident do you have to feel about what you had to kind of give up a guy that obviously was probably going to play for you at wide receiver?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one, obviously we're all going to do what's best for the team. He has a chance to be a really, really special player. He's very versatile and unique. I think he's going to have a chance to help us no matter where he's at. But, I think that just tells you about our team. Mosi goes to the running back room and this next guy up mentality in our room. And then I'm just trying to, stack days on days with each other and just get better as a group individually.
Is that a scenario? I mean, do you fight to keep him in the room, or is it, I guess, how does that work between coaches when?
Yeah, when it's Mosi, you fight to keep him in your room. But sometimes you get overruled by, obviously, I got superior bosses here. And like we said, we all want to do what's best for the team. I used to fight to try to keep him in your room. One, he's a special player, but he's a really, really good kid. He's a great kid, and he works extremely hard. He's going to be successful no matter where he's at.
Dana mentioned Quinn, Keelan, and Jeremiah as the guys who are helping push the competition. I guess your overview of how they've kind of helped the room.
Yeah, well, just extremely proud of those guys for just taking that next step from winter to spring to summer to now. Especially Quinn and Keelan, those guys being here last year and then just trying to ramp them up and get going. But it's a hard process. They're still young, but they work extremely hard. So anytime you got some guys that work hard, they're going to develop at a faster level. But they take the coaching, they work hard. Nobody's perfect. They come out here and try to get better every day. And I think that's been great for Jeremiah as well, because now he sees those guys. And Quinn's definitely a similar body type to him, and he's just starting from ground up. So he's learning from them every day. He's putting one foot in front of the other, and he's just working hard trying to get better.
How familiar were you with Jeremiah when you were over in Kentucky?
Yeah, it's crazy because I've never even heard of him until I got here. So I'm like, how the heck does a kid from, Murray, Kentucky come to Nebraska? And I was just there for a year. So, I went to see him on the road when I first went on the road, and we kind of talked about that. But I'm happy he's here. He's a great kid.
Did you have to fight to get him into your room? Because there's a bunch of positions he could have ended up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's just a freak of nature athlete with his size and his speed and the way he moves around and he runs. Obviously, all you guys know Coach Rule. If he sees somebody that caliber, he's going to try to, put him everywhere that he can. But I'm happy that he's settling in the receiver room as of right now. I think he's a really good player. No matter where he ends up, he's going to help us. He's going to help us win.
When you guys decide you want to go pretty fast in tempo, how are your receivers handling running 4 or 5 plays in a row like that?
Yeah, it's definitely an adjustment. Coach Hogerson's pretty direct and demanding. He's hard on those guys at the receiver position. Obviously, he knows a lot about that position. He's coached it at the highest level. He's done it for a while, but it's been adjustment for our guys. But I think they're getting the hang of it. It's been a process every day. We work on tempo, attack period. So just getting those guys to change their mindset and to change their urgency as we go. Now, once we move forward, that should become the normal. So it should be like secondhand nature by the time we get going.
What makes Daikiel a special player?
Who he is as a person. I mean, he's a good player. He's been a 3-year starter in the SEC, but who he is as a person has really helped our room. We have so many young guys in that room, and just the way he carries himself. He's always in the building getting extra work. He's always taking care of his body. He wants, his other guys in the room to succeed. So I think, when younger guys see older guys that have production and that have had success and see that how they work and they work hard, it's kind of easier for those guys to follow.
Those plays kind of going in a row. What's the hardest part of trying to do like 4 or 5 plays? Is it the conditioning? Is it lining up right? What's the challenge?
Probably a little bit of both, right? The conditioning aspect, anytime you're in competitive period, their heart's racing, their mind's racing, so everything's going up, the adrenaline's going up. So the conditioning aspect, obviously, and then that's just a tough deal. What we do, we demand a lot from those guys. Those guys are expected to run all day, but, they're in pretty good shape. I think Coach Campbell did a great job with those guys. Also, Kristen, too, with the nutrition. They look pretty good. So we just got to continue to get stronger mentally, and I think that will help us a lot.
From a 2-minute offense perspective, how do you feel like your receivers are doing in that sort of compressed period every day?
I think we're getting better. We're not where we need to be yet, but we're getting better. I think, Coach Hogerson's really, really harping on 2-minute and the importance of it. Whether it's end of game situation, end of half situation, or we just want to go hurry up, just, harping on the urgency changing and just, getting our eyes to the sideline, things of that nature. So the more we do it, the more we'll get comfortable.
You knew you had a good player in Jakori when you got here, but since you got here, what have you seen him maybe take a step in?
Yeah, mentally, mentally he's just matured a lot. Obviously Jakori was, a good player last year. He played early as a freshman, so, it's hard, that next year when you play early as a freshman, because when you play, you're just playing on pure talent. You don't really know what you're doing yet. So now the spring, he worked on a lot of technical stuff as far as technique within the position. And I think there were some growing pains in the spring for him there. So you can see kind of that frustration. But he's worked extremely hard over the summer. And I'll tell you what, he's playing pretty fast right now. I'm really happy with him. He's just got to continue to develop. He's still young. I think he's going to be just fine.
When you say technical stuff, like what are we talking about?
Technique at the receiver position, as far as top of the route mechanics, press, line mechanics, just in and out of my breaks, stuff like that. Just small technique stuff. I mean, he was just so young, and when you get a guy like that, he's just so fast. So all he knows is boom, 100 miles per hour. So now it's like, controlling your speed, dropping your weight, playing with good pad level, playing with a good base, catching with extension. So I think he's definitely trying to take the step in the right direction.
How was this group against man coverage? I mean, I know that was an issue at times last year where guys were getting the separation
Absolutely.
on those throws. How have you guys worked on that this fall?
Just trying to do a lot of more combative stuff, whether that's with each other, with the DBs, or with us as a staff, as coaches, just trying to, get in them face and get them uncomfortable as much as we can. We play in a really good league, and we're going to play some pretty good teams, starting off week 1. But the thing with man is sometimes you're going to be open, sometimes you're going to be not, but we just want to get their mindset to just make the play regardless, if that makes sense. Want to make a lot of contested catches, which they're going to have to do at the next level anyway if they get a shot to go to a guy one.
Hunter and Bonner obviously have a unique physicality maybe among the receivers. How have you seen those guys develop here so far in training camp?
Yeah, well, Bonner, I would say he's a unit. He's a big dude. Like, we run individual. We do our run drills, our stock block, and when he puts his hands on you, when you're holding the pad, it's a different feeling than everybody else. He's extremely strong, but he works hard. Like, if you told him, hey, we need you to go 10 plays straight, he'll do it. Yes, sir. I think he's starting to develop, he's starting to get a hang of playing, the receiver position. We use him at so many spots. He's really a utility football player. He's really good for us, but he's getting better at the receiver position. He's a great teammate, too. I really love having him in the room. And then Isaiah, he looks pretty good right now. I think he does. He looks pretty good right now. But the biggest thing with Isaiah is just getting him going every day. He's still young, so just getting him going. He's really talented, so just trying to pull that out of him.
Is he a guy that can go up and just make a lot of 50-50 plays?
I hope so. He can do it. Does he have the ability to do it? Yes. Does he have the mindset? Yes. So, I think with him is, just the more opportunity, with the younger players, the more opportunities and chances that they can get, especially in practice settings, that will help them out, as we continue to move forward in the game settings and really slow it down for those guys.
What do you think of the unit's run blocking so far, and how much are you able to train that?
Yeah. So the biggest thing we only had pads on. We had uppers on yesterday, and then we put them on today. So we did a lot better today, I would say that. The biggest thing with the run blocking is we tell these guys, it's just like special teams, it's effort in 1-2. So if we can just continue to harp that in their head and, play for each other, not only, receiver room, but play for the backs, play for the quarterbacks, blocking for the team, just do your job. So I think they're embracing that. I think they're willing to get better, obviously. We all know how the receiver position is, but if you got a group of wideouts that are willing to block and be physical, that can really change the game and change, our offensive dynamic.
Anything else from Coach?
Thanks, Coach. Thank you, guys.